Welcome to the campfire. I'm Mr. Duncan, and I am here today with Angela. I don't say your last name.
Acevedo.
Okay, I know your last name. This is a tough one for me. This is the first episode of season 3. If you watched on season 1, you may notice that I'm wearing the tie-dyed hoodie that Carlos Rivas, who was in all of our many of our episodes on the first season, that he wore in just about every single episode out here by the fire.
Yep.
He passed away. I told you this is going to be hard. He passed away in a car accident. His mom actually passed away 9 years earlier on the exact same road. So he's with his mom now, I believe. But we definitely just miss him. He was a great guy, and so I wanted to thank Lindsay for making these hoodies. And this is a picture that he made in my graphic design class. He photoshopped himself in between, I don't know what this giant lizard is.
A dinosaur.
And
a gorilla.
and King Kong or something. Anyway, so we miss him, and we're thinking all of his friends, so many friends that he had and family. We're keeping you in our thoughts and prayers, and we miss you, Carlos. So thanks for being a part of the show. So Angela, I wanted to talk to you about a lot of different things. So you just moved here. So tell me about how you spent your last few years.
Well, my last few years I was in Mexico. I was in Mexico with my older sister and my grandma. And well, I spent it very fun because it's very fun in Mexico. There's a lot of places you can go. There's food in every corner. You don't have to go very far for it. And I like the art, the culture, everything.
And not just Mexico.
Traditions.
Like where in Mexico were you?
I was in DF, that's like the center of Mexico, but I went a lot of places. I went to Toluca, I went to Las Grutas. If y'all ever go to Mexico, I recommend y'all to go to Las Grutas de Tongo. It is a place where you can go with your family to go camp. There's a river, natural water from the river. There's pools. It's very awesome.
That sounds cool.
It's
Yeah.
not
So
expensive.
before you went to Mexico City, you lived in Houston for your whole life, right? Until you were in 6th grade. So what was because I think Mexico City is even bigger than Houston, and Houston is a big city.
It is.
So how different was it for you? How was it for you moving to a foreign country, to a new country? Now you spoke Spanish, right?
Yeah.
So you did speak Spanish, but how different was it moving there for you? Like just the whole culture and.
Well, it was really different because, like over here, the schools, everything is different. The school over there is just a one building school. It's not all big like these schools. It's just one building. And I mean, the teachers really care about you because they try their hardest, like, for you not to fail. They will sit there and push you.
What are you saying? So what's the difference here? Here, not so much?
Because they don't push you so much here. I mean, they do, but then, like, when they're like, oh, he's not going to listen. It's like, oh, just sleep.
Like some people sleeping in class?
Yeah, that happens.
Goodness. So what else? What about the school? The schools that are different then?
Oh,
Because
well,
we were talking about corporal punishment the other day.
oh yeah.
And,
they
and
hit
SWATs.
you. They hit you with a ruler on your hand. They make you stretch your hand out and pop you.
In front of other kids in the class.
Yeah, in front of everybody. And it's embarrassing because if you cry, all your friends make fun of you because you cry. So.
Is that a good incentive not to get hit with a ruler? I mean, does that keep you from doing it? Or?
Yeah, you
So-
should.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
Because all your friends are fun.
But so we still have, in most places, don't have corporal punishment allowed, I think, in the U.S., but we still do have it here. I don't think that we use it.
No, actually, I got a form sheet that said if you could.
Right, and I think the default is yes. So it's like if you do not want to spank, have your child be
You
able
have
to
to
be.
sign.
Yeah, you have to sign and return it. But if not, then anybody can. But I don't think that means that we actually use it. But that's.
Yeah, I've never seen. I've never heard either of that.
So what about lunch? Because I think you were talking about.
Oh, lunch. Lunch, they do puestecitos. They're like little stands. They take their tables. And it's like regular people, like normal people that make food at their house and they take it to sell it. They buy popsicles, they buy chips. I don't know if y'all know about Dorilocos, but it's Doritos with a whole bunch of mixed stuff. It makes no sense to me, but
the onions.
yeah,
They're raw onions too, right?
They put onions in pickles and all that stuff. It makes no sense to me. I would never buy it. But it costs 15 pesos, which is basically like $2 or maybe $1.50.
Yeah.
So you have to buy your lunch because there is no free lunch over there at all. Like you can't turn no application in that says you have free lunch. No, you have to buy it. So if you don't buy your lunch, you have to take your lunch.
So it's actually,
or you just don't eat.
So it's actually more expensive there because 87% of the people in the school get free or reduced lunch.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to pay full price even if you do have to pay. But, I mean, so that's kind of a nice thing. And we have free breakfast all the time.
Yep.
So,
We don't have breakfast over there.
Really?
Just like get to the school, do the honors to the flag, and go to your class.
Okay. Oh, so you do the pledge, and other people thought it was really
It's
strange.
actually different. Let me tell you something so fun. It's called la escolta. It's like, how do you say it? Like the one that march with the flags.
The flag corps, ROTC.
ROTC, or the flag corps. Well, those are for 6 students out of the whole school that have good grades. And I was in it. I hold the flag. And like we have to, you line all the classes up in a square, and the flag people, we do the marching
Every day?
every morning.
And this is like the whole group, the whole school?
The whole school, all the school is lined up like in a square, and you, like the flag people, we start off in the middle, and then we end up going all around and end up back in the middle again when the song is finished. And eating.
That's cool. It's interesting to me. I'm gonna grab my cup. It's interesting to me though that yeah, I'm stepping away from the house, away from the fire. So you got to do it, and you're not even. Are you a Mexican citizen?
Well,
Because that just seems interesting to me that you would want to be one of the ones
Yes.
6 people picked, and you're actually American.
Actually, I am a Mexican citizen and I am an American citizen. I have both certificates.
Oh, cool. Dual
So-
citizenship.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Because actually, when I started to do the flag, the teacher did ask me, hey, you can't do the flag because you're not Mexican. And I was like, no, I am Mexican. It's like, oh, but you, and I was like, no, yeah, I have both. So
That's
it
cool.
makes me Mexican and American.
Yeah, I think it's just so interesting that you got to spend that much time there. So
It was fun.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many things that I wanted to know. How was it coming here to Splendora? Completely different from Houston, completely different from Mexico City. How was it moving here?
Well, first of all, in Splendora, I don't know. Second of all, like, it's a huge building, so my first week I got lost
Yes,
a lot.
you did.
I got very, very lost. Like, I ended up outside, and I was like, how'd I end up over here? I'm supposed to be over here. So, yeah, it wasn't really fun, that part of it. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's great because, well, really in Houston, I wouldn't go back because there's people that I don't want to see.
You can talk about that if you want to. It doesn't
I
matter. if
mean,
you want.
it's bad influence. I used to be a bad person.
No, you weren't a bad person.
I did bad decisions.
Sure. And we all make bad decisions.
I would like to go back to Houston. Anyways, in Mexico, I would go back to Mexico. Like, if someone was to tell me, like, right now, go back, I'll be like, yeah.
Like Donald Trump, I was like, you have to go back. No, I'm just
I'll be like,
kidding.
okay, I'm going back. You don't have to tell me.
Oh, man. Shoot, that figures.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
We Texans never were much for subtleties. Heck, the word bold is in our state song. We're all big skies and long horns. Even our plants don't mess around. So in 1895, when Lyman T. Davis created Wolf Brand chili, he made it the Texan way. Bold, feisty, seasoned up with a genuine Lone Star swagger, which is why Wolf Brand tastes how chili oughta. Wolf Brand chili. Open up a big old can of Texas.
Oh, we are back. Okay, we are back. That was a great commercial for what it was. I don't know what was there. We got a phone call from inside.
So, had
cold
to
out.
answer it.
How are you not cold out here? Is it cold out?
I'm not cold. I'm hot.
Okay. I did have, I don't know, because there's just, again, I feel bad because I just want you to tell me everything.
Okay.
So, well, you were telling me how Splendora is different, but it's different because it's new to you, and
I don't
you
know
don't know,
nobody.
yeah, I don't know a bunch of people here. I don't know. What is there any? This show, the show is supposed to be about what your opinions are. It's about student voice. So, is there anything that you've seen in other places, or there, even just in general, anything that you would like to see changed about our school here?
Well,
I mean, generally, the answers that we usually get are dress code and lunches and I don't know.
I mean, honestly, this is not gonna sound right, but he said his student opinion.
No, I do want it to be your opinion.
Okay.
This is fun.
So I think that in athletics they shouldn't do drug tests that they do, because there's a lot of good players, but we can't play because y'all do drugs. So yeah, because I used to get paid in Mexico to play for the teams. Like they would pay me just to play.
Like just regular team, like not anything to do with the school?
No.
Oh, that's cool. So
No, actually, in schools they don't really have teams because in Mexico it's very expensive, so you have to pay everything. So like the school can't give you shoes or uniform or waters or everything that they need. You'll have to buy it on your own, and you'll still have to pay to go play. So that's why they don't really do school teams, because it's a lot of wasting money. And then people like they order the uniform and they don't pay it, and the teachers have to pay it. So yeah, it's just.
I understand what you're saying about, I just read recently that a lot of schools have quit because it costs schools money to pay for these drug tests. A lot of schools have quit in KDISD outside Houston. Quit giving drug tests to students and instead spent money, not as much money, but spent money on informing them, like providing them an education about what those drugs actually do to them and how they'll affect them. But the problem with that is that y'all are young and you don't make the wisest decisions. Your brain, your brain's not fully formed until you're in your 20s. So that's only when you can actually have the ability to make those kind of decisions.
Where?
And I'm not, I'm not going to ask
yeah.
you more about, that. But yeah, and so in certain places, certain drugs are now, marijuana is now legal in a lot of places. So I understand that. I think that our money could be better used to, and the thing is that not very few people ever get tested positive for the drugs. So we're spending the money and we only have 3 out of every 100 people test positive for those drugs. Yeah.
Well, actually, I did research. Me, when I started doing what I do, I researched because I didn't just want to be putting a substance in my body. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I actually did research what the effects are and stuff. And I don't know if you noticed, but me, I'm a very hyperactive person. And I don't just sit around and do what I do and just like a zombie. I actually do stuff. I actually read, or I actually help my mom out, or I'm not just having my brain in it is working.
You do work too. You work at Julio's. Let's give a shout out again to Julio's Mexican restaurant. If you come to Splendora, Texas, go to Julio's.
If y'all go to Julio's, y'all will see me.
ask for
me.
Ask for Angela. Yeah, I'm super uncomfortable. No, well, but how yeah, we were saying Splendora is different that way.
Yes.
What else about the school?
Well,
I actually like the idea of. I'm very much pro sports, but our school district does spend a lot of money on sports. We just spent more than $1 million on our stadium and stuff.
That's what. And here they give the uniform where you have to buy it.
No, they give it to you.
You see, and over there you have to buy it. So yeah.
So it's good that we have the sports like that. I keep trying to talk you into playing for our soccer team. No, no, you should. You totally should.
I can. I will make y'all champions.
Well, you can say that, but you actually need to play. You should play. Are you playing?
No.
Do you play for the soccer team, Juan?
No, but I'm good.
Come here.
You totally should play.
Why don't you play?
Yeah,
Juan?
why not? I'll give you another reason to make sure you keep up your grades and keep
You
up with
could
all
be
your
like
stuff.
the silent soccer player, the good silent soccer player. Like, you feel me?
He's not going to be silent anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hey, does anybody else out here further away from the fire have any questions for Angela? Angela? I'm sorry.
Anybody?
I don't know why I'm calling you
Fan
Angela.
show. No.
Well, I don't know. I want more ideas. I see. What other opinions do you have about things?
Okay.
Coming from Mexico, how do you know, what do you feel strongly about? I'm not going to ask you about anything specific.
I strongly dislike the police over here. Like in Mexico,
that's not going to be a popular thing to say.
It's in Mexico. They like it's not that they don't care, but you know they don't exaggerate the little thing and make it big. You know what I mean?
They enforce what the law is here. I mean, if there's a law, they're going to enforce it.
I mean, yeah.
If somebody's speeding, you get pulled over.
No, but actually we got pulled over the other day. This was very tragic. I got pulled over with my sister the other day, and we weren't doing nothing, and we were going the speed limit, and we had everything, you know, everything was fine. We had our seatbelts on, and I don't know. We got pulled over, and the cop he got off, and we were like, yes, sir, I don't know why I got pulled over, and he was like, well, I ran your license plates, and it says that you had got stopped before for not having no license, because my sister has no license. It's like in
I don't know, processing?
It's processing. So, and she had told him, last time she got stopped, she had told them that it's processing. So we got stopped again for the same thing when we had already told them. I just really dislike being stopped at every corner I turn.
I can certainly understand that too. That's a big issue in all of the United States right now for people of color, for black people. And for,
Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah. Well, I'm privileged. I'm a white male. Like things come pretty easy. Now I still get pulled over and all those types of things, but I'm not afraid when I get pulled over. No, but it's true. And so I actually thought, and again, this is about me and it's not supposed to be, but I didn't recognize, well, like a couple years ago, whenever you started seeing on the news all the time people videoing police officers killing, you know, young black kids,
Yes.
males usually, I thought that was just started happening. I thought that was like, wow, this is happening all of a sudden. I didn't realize that had always happened. And that people, you know, it just wasn't on video before.
Yeah.
So I feel, you know, like that's something that I learned.
People just thought about it and were like, so let's get killed, but let's let people know how we got killed.
Well, putting it out there, social media definitely helped raise the awareness of it. People like me who didn't really realize that this was happening so often. You know, now we know. My goodness.
If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, well, and people are trying to do something about that too.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the protests? About not the protests, but protesting? A lot of people here seem to think that protesting is not a good thing.
No, I actually think protesting is a good thing. Like in Mexico, there's always protests against the president. It's very dumb. So.
How do you really feel about the president?
I just really hate
let's
the
hope that
Mexican president.
Enrique Peña Nieto, let's hope that he does not watch this and come
If
back.
Enrique Peña Nieto ever watches this, just letting you know I hate you. You are very dumb.
Okay. Okay.
Anyways, as I was saying, there is a lot of protests in Mexico. And like that's our way to express our opinion, but the government doesn't get us. That's why when we protest, there's always fights, because I've seen it. I've been in protests in Mexico. The police, they literally bother you. Like, they literally bother you so you could start fighting with them. And so they could say, oh, the protestants, yeah, they could say, the protesting started and we had to do this and that. So, yeah, it just...
That must have come from, I don't know, it must have come from the woods somewhere.
Oh, my God.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, we'll finish up today. We'll have more chance to talk, but anyway, so stay warm, stay woke.